First game that we're going to be talking about is the numbers game. So the numbers game is a great game to end your presentations with. And what I do in this numbers game is you have one side blue and one side black. And what I do is I go through the entire presentation, and I use this to close with, because what you do here is you ask them to pull this sheet out, and there's just a bunch of wild and crazy numbers all over it. And you kind of make a joke of it. You say, look, there's a bunch of numbers on this. What I'm going to do now, folks, is I'm going to give you 30 seconds. You say, wait till I say go, but I'm going to give you 30 seconds. And in that 30-second window, I want you to circle as many numbers in numerical order as possible. And I have this up on the screen, and so you see it up here, and you kind of make the joke of, all right, so this is going to be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Circle as many numbers as you can in numerical order, starting with 1. And then you can pull out your phone or a stopwatch, whatever you have, and you say, okay, everybody follow the instructions. Make sure everybody has a pen. Make sure everybody has the sheet out. You know, you want everybody to be on the same page, and you say, okay, when I say go, I want you to go ahead and get started. And then you just simply hit start, and you wait for 30 seconds, and then you ask them to all stop, and you kind of make a joke of it and say, okay, now I want you guys to stop. And show of hands, how many people got more than, and again, you usually start with like the number 9. It seems to be a good number to start with. And some people will raise their hand, then you'll say how many people got more than 12. Some, more people will raise their hand. And then you can say, all right, now how many people got more than 16 numbers? And you'll see a very few hands go up. Typically, if somebody goes above 20, they've played the game before. And you can make the joke of, all right, how many of you have played the game before if they went over 16 or 20? And what you're going to then wrap up with here is you're going to say, all right, so a lot of you folks had no idea really where the next number was. And what we found in our world, in the financial world, is most of the times when people first come in and see us, they really had no idea where their money was or what it was doing, when it was supposed to do something, or how it was going to do something. You have a bunch of accounts just like these numbers, and they're kind of all over the place, going and moving in all different directions. So our job as a financial advisor to you is, and folks, this is where I want you to flip this page over, and now you have a clean sheet of paper. When you walk in through our doors, it's like a clean sheet of paper. Our job is to understand where you're going to go and then give you a path to run on. So what I'd like for you folks to do, and you can point up to your screen now, is draw lines on your clean sheet of paper from 13 to 2 straight down through 7 to 12. And then draw a line left to right between the 9 and the 3 all the way to the 6 to the 16. So now everybody should have 4 equal boxes on their sheet of paper. Again, you want the audience to be engaged here. You want them to confirm, yep, I got 4. You even can hold it up. And again, on my sheet, on the PowerPoint, it will show the numbers with the lines through them on the chart. And so now what we're going to do here is say, now that you have 4 equal boxes, I want everybody in the audience to follow me. Remind them, don't circle the numbers, but follow you with the numbers. And if you have a pointer, you can use your pointer. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what you're doing is you're visually showing them in the top left corner of all of the boxes, because there's 4 individual boxes, you'll see the numbers 1 through 4. In the bottom right, you'll see 5, 6, 7, and 8. So what you're going to do is tell the audience the corresponding box has the corresponding number in the exact same location. So now that, folks, that you have an audience and you're telling this to the crowd, say, now that you guys have a track to run on, you know where you're going to go before you actually leave, let's see if you can get any further along. Just like in the financial world, if we know where you're going and you know where you're going before you take off, let's see if you can get any further along. And so you do the same thing. You say, okay, when I say go, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Again, I want to see if you can get any further along this time than you did previously when you didn't know where you were going. Do the same thing. Click the start button on your watch or on your phone and let it go for 30 seconds. Tell them to stop. Then the same thing. Now what I always like to do is, whoever had the highest number previously, so let's say the last group, the highest number circled was 15. So I'm going to start with asking the audience how many people had 15 or more. And then pretty much the entire crowd will raise their hand. Kind of let them look around and see that everybody now has 15, where before 15 was the highest number. And then you can just keep picking numbers, say, okay, who had 22 or more? Who had 30 or more? I mean, I've had some people go all the way up into the 50s. So keep going, and until you get to the last round, and the last person to raise their hand who had the highest number. And again, gauge your audience. If your audience is loose and engaged and it feels okay, if your personality fits this, my running joke is I'll say, okay, who had the highest number? And somebody will be like, I had 52. And I'll say congratulations, you had the most out of the entire audience. You get to receive a free dinner. And everybody will start to laugh because we're feeding them a free dinner if you're doing a dinner seminar. If you're not doing a dinner seminar, obviously that joke's not going to go over very well, but everybody will kind of laugh and kind of wrap things up. And so then what you're going to do is you'll conclude with, look folks, when you come in and you sit down with us, our job is to be able to build you a roadmap of where to go with your finances. So it's not just a bunch of numbers and a bunch of statements and a bunch of things all over the place. We want you to have a solid plan that takes you from beginning all the way through end. So thanks for coming in, and then you can just kind of wrap things up. But that the goal of the game is to drive the fact that when they first come in and see you, stuff's all over the place. By playing this game, the goal is that you give them a track to be able to run on when they leave your office.